ready, we ready, we ready for y'all. We ready, we ready.
Half of the year is done. I always start singing when I can't sing.
Oh my word. Try again. Try again. Try again.
Sure. Oh, that was okay. Half of
Hmm.
the year, we are. I can't believe that this year is almost half over. And as we were preparing for what we were going to talk about today, if I could share the text, we probably would be
Let's
canceled.
not.
I would not. We probably would be canceled. But there was a little underlying theme that just led to what we needed to talk about today. A little bit of Wooosaaah. And it and when we think about Wooosaaah, it seems like there's been a lot of different conversations I know that I've been in where that has come up. Like there are a lot of irritants that are in our world right now, whether it's work, home, other people's politics or traffic. Good Lord, the traffic is awful. Weather, it's hot. There's no football. Um, there's a lot that's going. But there's no American football. Even
Thank
though
you.
there's football in America, there's no American football. Let's
The
be
real
clear.
football.
Let's be
Mhm.
clear. It's a different kind of football. And I thought we could start off with like I'm gonna call it for me what's on the mind of ain't nobody got time for that. It's literally when you think of something that is
Mhm.
on your mind right now. And I'm just going to start with just call this little gripe session if you want to. But there's a moment, part of Wooosaaah is learning to just release and let go, right? Part of Wooosaaah is to not let it rise to the level of drama. Part of
Mhm.
Wooosaaah is, I always just say that um, there's some people who have a screen, like a physical screen. Everything I'm doing is renovation work, so everything is going to be in the lens of renovation. And so I have a screen that has a weft in it, not glass, but weft. And sometimes there's like a screen that has a very, very, very tight weft. Sometimes there's ones a little looser. Sometimes there's a screen that has a little some expanded tears that needs to be replaced. And I noticed that my screen, my personal screen, not just the one physical screen at my house, but my personal
Mhm.
screen, the weft is a lot looser. So a lot more stuff is coming in than I normally would allow for it to do. And so, I believe that there is good, I think it's a good practice to have space for things that just are annoying you. Get it, claim it, say it, and move on. So for ain't nobody got time for that. What's on your ain't nobody got time for that, EJ? What's bubbling up top of you?
That's where you want to start.
This,
That's where you want to start.
this one, this one. You look like
You
he has
see, I
something.
can't give you just one. I can't give you just one. But you one that I wasn't even realizing I was harboring came up when you talked about football in America. How come there was a differential and how the teams were treated and how they were welcomed to this country when they came for said World Cup in this here, our United States of America? Why was that? Why was that? Why was that? Why was it some teams were searched on the tarmac? Why was it some teams weren't even allowed to come? Why is it some teams had to be redirected to Mexico? Why was it? I just have questions because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that.
First
That's
of
one.
all, I'm sorry. Can we just take a moment? She has more information on sports right
Listen,
now than I do. I didn't even know this was happening.
I am
I
amazed. I am amazed that you are so tapped in to what is
I got a
happening
lot
on.
going on. I got a lot going on.
yeah.
Brava.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that.
Okay.
You know what else I don't have time for? I don't have time.
Uh-oh.
Poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine.
Oh.
Ooh, girl, say it again for the people in the back.
Let me try one more time. Let me just. And this is Adobe. Adobe is coming through me right now.
Uh-huh.
That would be mama. Poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. I'm going to sit down for a moment.
That was your clap.
Thank you. Thank
Clap.
you. Thank you. I don't have time for it.
Okay. Response and your thoughts, Kennedy, on what you ain't got time for right now.
You know what I don't have time for is I don't know where in the book of Jerusalem women found the idea that we are not supposed to brag on the things that we have accomplished and done in our lives, but I
Mm.
don't have time for not knowing how amazing women are in my life, not in my life, in the world, until it's too late for me to tell them how I appreciate all that they have done and carried forward and paved the way for me to be who I am today. I ain't got time for that. Like, I need for us to start, we don't have to shout it from the mountaintop,
Or we can.
or we can, but good Lord, we cannot continue to keep the amazing things that we are doing and achieving and paying forward to ourselves. We cannot keep doing that. I don't have time for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Mm.
I would agree with that. Um I have a few I ain't got time for. I think where we started this show, I thought I was gonna go somewhere else, but I don't have time for people who don't take accountability. Um, I recently took a
Mm.
an assessment.
Mm. Mm.
Listen,
Amen
woo,
on the
you had
call.
today, whatever you had
Listen,
today, Mama, I need you to
listen,
have it on regular, okay?
on the
Mm.
regular. I mean, that has got to be. Listen, I know my contractor is not watching this, and y'all gonna be tired of me talking about my house. And listen, but when I had someone come into the house, he happened to be there, and he goes on and tells all the what had happened was and why there's delays. The man didn't ask for it. Did not. It was inappropriate for him to share, and you look like a fool sitting there pointing the finger at everyone else when you're the general contractor.
That
You can't
part.
take accountability. And I told him, I said, at some point, it's okay for you to accept accountability. You have accepted zero throughout this process. Zero. And it is a, I think about that in like a work setting as
Mhm.
well, where there is nothing. I think it's a key ingredient to a culture of fear. When people, particularly senior executives, cannot accept accountability, responsibility
Mm.
for their oopsies. And it is a turn off of epic proportions. I lose immediate credibility, and I gain anyone who just says, you know what, that is my bad.
Yep.
That is my bad. And I
Yep.
don't. I just Lord, I know we'll wait to the end to do something, but just do that. Take
But
something
with that,
out of it. Just do
but
that.
and oopsie, we are human. Everybody f's up. Own it and move on. Own
Listen,
it.
The worst part about the lack of accountability, especially in the workplace, is usually that comes with you throwing someone else under the bus, right?
listen.
And that's where, for me, so now we're calling into the fact that you have zero integrity, right? Because
Mhm.
you know that you have played a role or you've contributed to something.
Hmm.
Instead of you taking accountability, owning your piece of that, making it right, you will hide behind what someone else may or may not have contributed, as if that is the deciding factor for the situation. And it is the thing that perpetuates very unhealthy environments and a culture where there's no trust. And when there is no trust, what else can you build in the
Listen.
culture? So it is definitely something I do not have time for.
Yeah.
So, how do you take the kudos if you don't take the crap? That's my issue.
Ooh, ooh. I'm glad we're recording this. How do you take kudos if you don't take the crap?
Oh, people will jump in and take the kudos.
Oh
They
But
yeah.
like,
that's my point. You can't have the kudos if you don't take the crap.
yeah.
They go
Man,
hand in hand.
man. EJ, what was in your cornflakes this morning?
Child, I'm a playlister. I don't know. God found me with some playlists this week, and I don't know what happened, but we're doing the work on EJ this week.
Listen. Okay.
Carry on.
Let's so as I mentioned, we're almost
Mm.
half the year. And actually before we go to the second half of the year, let's do a grade or caption your first half of the year. So if you could how you feel, whatever spikes for you, how you feel, how you perceive, whatever spikes for you, how would you caption? I wish we could do gifts. We'll do that next time. where you are providing a January through June has been you want to start? Mine has my January through June has been whatever comes up after you fall on the keyboard. That's been my January through June, and I'm talking fall on the keyboard head first. And it's mixed. So mixed of just frustration. I won't beat the dead horse of my contractor. I won't beat the dead horse of just the kind of stupidity decisions that we're seeing come in all different shapes, sizes, spaces, and places. Also, I'm a very vibrant celebrator of humor. And so when I get laid out of something, I've done a lot of laughing this year all the way through it. So that's mine. My caption is whatever those keys after I bump my forehead on it about 4 times.
I,
Kenny, what's yours?
yeah, I feel like the first 6 months of this year have felt like the dust that flies up in your kitchen when they demoed the tile. It is not something that you want to have on you or around you, but it eventually settles. And I think the settling for me has been, I'm grateful to still be alive.
Amen to that.
Right? I'm grateful for every breath that I get. And so I am always doing a constant balance of some of these days are really, really crappy
Mm-hmm.
too, but I get to experience these days, right? And I'm trying to hold on to the blessing that is the fact that I still get to be here, even for the crappy day.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I got a whole soundtrack going through my head right now. I just need you to know that. So when you went in, I was like, Mama said there'd be days like this. That's,
Like this.
I'm just saying that's what that was the soundtrack that was going that when you were talking. Um, So I shared this with you, Robbie. I didn't tell you this, Kenny. So I don't go to the movies. That's not one of them. That's not my thing. It's not my zhuzh. But it was Father's Day. My husband, that is his zhuzh. He loves the movies and he wanted to have an experience with the girls and the movies. And he has a favorite movie theater. And we went and saw Toy Story. Stay with me. So we go in said theater. First off, I was like, good God, how much does this thing cost to go to a movie with children? And what do we do? Lord, and then they asked me for popcorn. You want to eat on top of what it costs to get inside of this room? Whole nother story. The Nigerian me did not come out. I did not have all my Scooby snacks in my purse going into the movie. Note to self, I was not prepared. Stay ready. You don't have to get ready. So we go in there and it was a full experiential theater, right? You sit in the chair, and I was like, what the hell? There was a shake, and now I'm feeling stuff on my feet. And then the thing is moving, and the chair starts to move. They're galloping on a horse. The whole thing starts to, and that's what I would describe as this year, thus far. I have been on a ride and a journey. I don't know left from right. I don't know what's coming and going. The expectation, I don't even know what to expect. And some of it has been joyful and there has been a lot of disappointment, but I have no, it just keeps coming right, left, up, down. And I just feel like I'm riding this horse, riding this horse. And I will tell you the only proof, because my mama said, always look at your surroundings before you get settled. Look at your surroundings. So on said seat in said movie theater, it said water on or water off. I didn't even know what that meant. But what I didn't know is that there would be no water on. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know what that, but I knew that we were not going to have a water on moment. And so I turned water off for everybody. And at some point, all of a sudden, I just see water splashing on other people during the course of this thing. And so, what I will say is sometimes God will throw you a bone, and there was a little bit of provision in said this year. So, got a little bit ahead of the curve, but it was still, I didn't know what I was walking into, but stay ready. And that's what this year has been to me so far.
I can't. I cannot. There was a movie playing as you were talking about your movie. I can see all of that playing out, like off. All right. So your second act is bring Scooby snacks.
Bring Scooby snacks. Read all the directions. Read the fine print that it says in the theater when purchasing said ticket. It's Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, there's no more Father's Days.
Don't you wish?
No more Father's Days for the rest of the year.
Don't you wish this year came with fine print where you could actually read that and understand exactly how to react and respond and turn the water off on the things that you do not want to come up and surprise you in the course of the year? That would be fantastic.
I wouldn't read it.
Fantastic.
I wouldn't read it. I wouldn't read the fine print. Isn't that funny?
The problem is I probably wouldn't either. I'd skim it and then I'd be mad I missed something.
Yeah.
I would totally read the fine print.
See, and here's the difference. Because let's just say, let's carry this out. I would probably not read the fine print. And then if an experience occurred that I didn't care for, I'd get myself up and I would leave. If it's something I didn't care for. And it has to be really egregious on the don't care for category. Like where's my tolerance of not caring for it? Like, is it too much effort to get up and navigate through all the things, get the kids, I don't have kids with me that need to be get up and got. But yeah, I'd weigh that, but I'd likely be out.
That's so funny because again, just the difference in how, because your first thing was I'm getting out, and I was like, okay, so if it throws me something, I'm gonna figure out how to make it through. And that was my first thought. I'm gonna figure out how to make it through.
I would. That's what I'm saying. If it was something I was uncomfortable with, and I'm like, I'm out. That would be, didn't expect this. Okay. Like it, don't. Yes. Okay. No. Two of them.
Right. But one of my first options was not, you can just go out. You can be out.
The option to leave is not even in your.
It was not even in my thought process till you said it.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I like to read the fine print so I know whether or not I want to go. So, for instance, we're having a meeting in another state for, some team building, and they sent out a questionnaire about some activities that they're interested in doing. And on the list was an escape room. And I said, no, absolutely not. I'm not interested in being locked into something that I need to escape from. Sorry, have real life experience. Don't need to
Yeah.
do that for fun. Doesn't sound like fun to me at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I am the person who I'm going to read the fine print. I'm going to figure out what happens in the room before I get in the room, because I don't want to have to decide while I'm in the room if I want to leave. I want to know whether or not I need to even be in the room in the first place.
That's, I was reminded, there was a moment where EJ and I were at EJ's house, and two of our friends thought, and actually Jazz, my daughter, was there too, thought it was a good idea to see us. And EJ also reminded me that going back, the option to leave is always on the table. I, post haste, exited opposite from that scare and left my
Without
child.
her child. Without her child.
Fend for yourself. Save yourself. No, I mean she could run faster than me, but not that day. I'm like, I probably put my pan on her head to get out of the way. Sure did.
And I just remembered, and my instinct in that moment was, I'm gonna beat your fill in the blank. Like I'm
Oh, the
going
one that
because that
scared us?
was, oh yeah, the one who scared us. I was
Oh,
like,
that
I'm
was
gonna
later.
beat you. I'm gonna beat you.
Yes. Part 1 was save yourself. Part 2, I didn't speak to them that whole night. I literally did not speak to them that whole night.
Sure didn't.
Quietly.
Sure didn't.
And sure didn't. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, so second act. We have the second half of the year to look forward to. What's going to be your caption that? Caption the second half. So the second act. I love it when we go, mine is going to be, I'm gonna stick with the theme. As coming in, I thought my Ain't Nobody Got Time for That is, I do not suffer fools well. And I was reminded that we are actually instructed, according to the Bible, you are instructed to educate said fool.
What's it say? What's it say? What's it say?
Oh, you want me to quote scripture? That is not my specialty.
I said give the clip notes.
I will. Okay, Lord Jesus. So I will tell you this. It basically says, them dum-dums don't know they're dumb. They will continue thinking they are parting wisdom until you tell them they are a fool.
Preach.
And that is in the book of Robin.
Second chapter, third verse.
Yes.
Continue.
Said better in the Bible.
Lord.
Yeah. But I
got me rocking. Go ahead.
I literally have I don't engage with, and it's not an intellect. It's not intellect. It is things around more emotional intelligence. It's things around mindset, abundance versus scarcity. Let's have the 75th meeting on this thing. Let's make sure everyone has a pager. It's these kinds of things that I'm just like, that makes no doggone sense. And sometimes I just don't engage because it's so. But and I won't do it in a public environment. I will make sure but I normally just let them fools
be fools. So
that. The fool will know they're a fool. This sounds so very judgy. I recognize that, but y'all know what I mean. The fool will know they're a fool. And I'm going to also try and lower my disdain of said fool. And it's not the person, it's just
it's the act.
It's the act.
Well, you know what my daddy used to say about fools? My daddy used to say.
What daddy say?
That if you hang out with payasos, fools, clowns, and you act the same way that they do, the people looking from the outside in can't tell who the fool is.
Talk
Hey,
about it.
that's in the
So
Bible.
in the book of Ken,
That's in the book of no, it's in the
verse
Bible. It's
22,
in the Bible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? You cannot hang out with fools and have someone not be able to tell the difference between you and the fool that you hang
Absolutely.
out with, right? And then
Absolutely.
you used to say, you play silly games, you get silly prizes.
Ah,
Silly rabbit.
So
Silly
fools
rabbit.
like to play silly games. They like to do silly things, and you play silly games, you get silly prizes.
that part.
Mhm.
And so we were always encouraged to be separated from any foolishness, period, right? Because it's really the foolishness, not necessarily the person.
Mhm.
Correct. 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 So your second act?
So I had never heard of this person named China Styles. Never heard of her, don't know her, didn't know anything about her. And I got sent a song. It popped up in my feeds that says, I love you, I love me loud by said woman, China Styles. That is what my second act will be. I need to love me loud because I can't love, care for, stand in the gap for, be in front of, behind, surrounding, around anybody or anything if I don't take my air mask first. So that is my focus and my goal for the second act.
Do you have your finger up?
I needed that for her. I needed that for her. Wait, you get another one.
Yeah, I'm glad that you arrived to that conclusion on your own.
I am. If anybody needed that, yes. You. This is. We should call this show EJ. This is episode EJ.
Wooosaaah.
Yes. Anywho.
Stop.
All right, Kenny. You didn't talk about your second act, or you piled onto my fool?
I
Yeah.
think the second act for me, I am in a place where I'm just trying to find some peace. I am looking for the Prince of Peace to cover me in the thing that other people just won't be able to understand. And so I think my second act is just diving a little bit further into God in less of me, more of Him. And I feel like that's always how I start my year, but then somehow things happen, life happens, and I get lost in the sauce of trying to figure things out on my own and creating pathways for myself. And I need to get back to what I know. I need to get back to the thing that produces the right fruit for me. And that's what second act is for me.
Ooh, you just hit me in the core with my do something. That was a reminder. That was a reminder.
What's your do something? What you got, Pope Chap?
Um, so this has been a season of many things, and I do want to just um, pay respect to Christina Carr-Van-Dunk, who was on this show, has been a warrior, and she received her wings last month, and we have celebrated her life in so many different ways. And she was the epitome of don't tell me what me and my God can't do. Don't tell me what me and my God can't do. She overcame what was a 3-month diagnosis to 15 years later. And she had a tattoo put on her wrist, and it simply said live. So that every day it was a reminder that this life that we have is precious, and you have one of them. Live your life. Don't get caught up in the foolishness.
Listen,
Don't get caught up in what other people are telling you to do. Live this life that is yours. So love on the people who you need to love on. Speak the truth that you need to speak. Walk in your purpose and integrity, but I want you to live. And so I see Christina's wrist on my arm, and that is my do something. Go and live.
I mean, and with that, I don't think anything else needs to be said. Live.